Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. These are the types of videos that I love to make. Michelle Young gets called out by people asking her if she's still donating to all the charities she said she was going to donate to. Then Michelle Young responds, and there's several different views on whether or not audiences should hold her accountable for charitable donations, and also what this means for other members of Bachelor Nation when it comes to what they do with their money. Are people trying to hold Michelle to a different standard? Michelle gets a great answer, and she's great at communicating on her social media when it comes to snapping back in a way that seems polite, but it's kind of like an FU from her. We'll get into all this. Find me on Instagram at DNeals and patreon.com/Dave Neal. As you guys know, I share 100% of my finances on Patreon with the Patreon community. I stopped doing it with you guys here because money's weird. People have weird reactions to money. Some people don't want me to make money on this free service that I provide you guys, which is just information and or entertainment. The entertainment factor being in, I'm not providing you guys anything new. This is all information you can see on her social media. But sometimes people like to have something curated. They can press a button to go do the dishes, breastfeed, bake some chicken cacciatore. Whatever it is that anyone wants to do out there can be done, and you can listen to this on the process. Now, I'll tell you what. Some people have said, Dave, I love to watch your YouTube videos, but when I'm driving, by the way, if you have YouTube Premium, you can watch a YouTube video, just the audio version, but that's a different story. But I've had people say, I wish I could listen to your podcast. Well, this is the first time I'm announcing this with the actual graphic publicly, but Bachelor Rush Hour with Dave Neal begins next week on November 1st. I'm still working on getting the RSS feed projected to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, all the different platforms. You will be able to listen to it for free. It's a daily roundup, audio only, of everything that we talked about that day. I'm going to be ripping content from different videos with a whole summary plus other entertainment pop culture news. I'm going to lean heavily on you guys subscribing, rating, and reviewing and all that jazz. You don't have to do that yet. I'm just shouting that out as a fair warning. Do me a favor. In the link in the comment section, you can join my newsletter if you haven't already. I will be blasting it out there, so you'll be the first to get to listen to that when it drops next week, November 1st. All right, so anyway, let's get to Michelle. She responds to the haters. It all began a couple days ago when someone had posted this. Michelle Young has announced that she'll be donating some of her ad money every month to different charities and organizations, which is good and all, but yeah, I'm the type that's like, look, you don't have to do that with your money, and your audience can decide to follow you or unfollow you depending on what you decide to do. I think, we have a pretty okay tax system. Now, it's not great. There are so many loopholes, but for people that are in like the middle to upper middle class, she's probably going to pay 35 to 40% in taxes. I don't know exactly which state she still lives in. California, I mean, God knows you could do the math. I paid somewhere between $20,000 to $45,000 in taxes last year. I don't even know. I prepaid $50,000. Why? Because my accountant told me to, and then I got a refund, but of course it came out to somewhere in like $25,000. So what gets done with our tax money is what we need to fight for. What gets done with it is definitely more important to me. I think, Michelle, if I were her, I would say you should lean into not getting into politics, but getting into the looking for systematic change with how schools are run, not just statewide, but federally. Systematic change in getting funding for teachers. God knows we can spend millions of dollars on missiles that we shoot up into the sky and all this other thing. We spend $500 for every screw we buy that gets, there's so much waste in so many different levels from the military-industrial complex in so many different places that it's like, it's not about defunding the military. It's not about defunding this. It's about properly allocating the money to the people that actually need it. The teachers, the people that are out there sculpting minds and making change, the first responders, you get all that. I think we're all on the same page. And if not, at least we can agree to disagree here with as much intelligence in the topics at hand. So anyway, I think the audience just wants to see that she's not leaving teaching to just like pursue her own goals, which I think is ridiculous. So the commenter says this, no tea, no shade, but I thought every month she was going to let us choose the charity to donate to. It feels weird to make a big deal about this and make an announcement that she is doing this and then not talk about it after some months have passed. Well, it seems like tea and it seems like shade. I hate it when people say no tea, no shade, and then they post something in the old bully platform, Reddit, and then people can comment and say, oh yeah, she's no different than everyone else. Hey, newsflash, none of us are different. We all make weird choices in being put in different circumstances. we're not perfect and we're not awful. We're all somewhere in between. Michelle being a teacher making $30, $40, $45, $50,000 a year, whatever it is, that probably is not nearly enough for what teachers have to deal with. The fact that she's cashing in with influencer deals, that's late stage capitalism, folks. That's all it is. And if people don't like it, maybe they should get on social media and do it themselves. Now, look, I wasn't on a dating reality show where I just got boatloads of followers right away. But you think she's making a lot of money? How about the networks, ABC, the production company, and NPK, whatever the hell it's called, the production company that makes The Bachelor? How about how much money they're making commodifying her? If she's making $150,000 for her season, trust me when I say they're making a whole lot more, and no one's asking them to donate to charities or to post about political things or social, causes. But we just look at who we can actually get in touch with, and through DMs, through comments, it's people like Michelle. So she responds to this. Here's her response. I'm going to play it for you guys right now. She's doing a little influencers right there.
My hair's normally curly.
Looking very good. And then here's her response. Nice eyebrow game. Do you go to the same eyebrow lady that Maddie Pruitt goes to? Looking very nice.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm just coming on to give you guys an update because I've received so many messages about it in the last few days. But yes, I have kept my word and I have been donating every single month a certain percentage of my influencing checks. I donated.
That's good. You don't have to do that.
Project 99, and then also I've done a lot of stuff with Be The Match for the donations, covered a lot of teachers' wish lists at the beginning of the school year, and then have donated to everything that was going on in Florida.
Now, wasn't it Jesus who said, and I could have it wrong in the Bible. You know me, I get the Bible wrong once in a while. But doesn't the Bible get itself wrong? I mean, it's written by men, right? Men are flawed. Right? The Bible's just, a long game of telephone. Kill the who? No, Jesus never said that. They're just rewriting the Bible. The Bible says we should donate to our mega pastors so they can have rich jets and yachts. Huh? Really? Come on, Joel. Let's get into it. Open your doors. There's a hurricane. Okay, so here's the deal, right? But Jesus said you should do good things, but not necessarily preach or talk about it. Now Michelle's responding to people that are talking to her about it. But look, we live in that world. I've been thinking what I'm going to do possibly for Vlogmas as far as donations go. Last year, we raised, I don't remember $12,000 for the Toys for Tots, which was great. This fall, we got probably almost 50 teachers. We got their wish lists funded. And I pat myself on the back for that because I'm patting you guys on the back because that's what you did. So if it sounds like I'm bragging about it, I'm bragging that we have the most loyal and dedicated fan base in all of Bachelor Nation. I stand by that. If there was a competition to see who could raise the most money for a good cause, I firmly believe that our 60,000 folks that are in here can do more good than people with 1 million followers on Instagram. That's just the power of YouTube. That's the power of you guys in your loyalty to all that we have going on. But that's proud dad moment right there. She doesn't have to be saying what she's donating to. Like I said before, she's anyway. Let's just finish off what she's saying.
And so I apologize that I haven't included you guys with that, but
Don't
up
apologize.
to this day I have donated over $5,000, so I am very proud about that. But I will include you from here on out in selecting that process. We will start that back up in November. But your girl is donating and she plans to continue donating, and I appreciate you guys and those of you who have reached out and have also wanted to donate as well. So I'll make sure that from here on out I'll be providing links so that you can donate alongside of me.
Oh, I love that. She's so kind. She's like, I'll give a link so you can donate your money too, biatch. You know what I mean? I feel like that's good for her.
Hope you're having a good day.
And I believe her. I believe her that she's no, look, I'm doing it. But here's the deal, right? We have corporations. Maddie Pruitt's marrying a billionaire's son. That God knows they don't pay 15% taxes. God knows they don't. The tax rate, it's complicated. I'm not an expert. It varies depending on how much money you make. But of course, people, there's so many loopholes that there's plenty of corporations that don't pay anything into their taxes. And then, the conservative viewpoint is well, if they paid taxes, then they would just raise the rates to the consumer. All right, so what, they shouldn't pay taxes then? Like what? Like, you know what I mean? Amazon like doesn't pay taxes. They sell very cheap products, cost very competitive. They have the cheapest products out there. They have companies that just go out of business, and then also they don't pay taxes. Like what? No, it's a crazy world out there. So we look at influencers and we say, oh, good, she's donating $5,000 in taxes. It's great. When companies donate $1 million, you know what I hate more than anything is when I go to Ralph's, I go to the grocery store, and they're like, would you like to donate $2 to charity? It's like, first of all, I will donate to charities on my time. I'm not going to spend $2 at your cash register. Like, do they get to claim that it's a charitable donation on their behalf then? It's all shifty, right? It's all shifty. That's why I think there should be just a flat tax. Everyone pays 15% or whatever economists say the number is. Everyone, maybe if you make less than 30 or 40 grand, you don't pay it. I don't know. But everybody else, because, the politics gets involved and people go, oh, so-and-so wants to tax people at 60%. So many people don't understand what marginal tax rates are. Like if you make over $500,000, then your tax rate goes up. But that doesn't mean at $499,000 you're paying 60% sales tax. You know what I mean? Do you guys understand what I'm saying here? What does that have to do with Michelle? What it has to do is this shame we place on influencers for how they make their money when they're making a fraction of the cost that corporate, VPs, CEOs are making. A fraction of the cost. So I don't know. I just think it's silly that you might find out that she makes a certain amount of money or that I make a certain amount of money, and you think it's this crazy amount when chances are she's got a humble accountant who's getting her whatever deductions they can get, but she's probably still paying double in a tax rate than what billionaires are paying. So when we look at issues of political divide, I think a lot of times we want to say the left does this or the right does that. We have to understand that the issue is more basic. It's a class issue. There's the ultra wealthy and the ultra rich and the rich that don't pay their fair share. And we have some sort of idea, the middle class, the lower middle class goes, well, but they're going to pass the buck down to us. And it's like, no, player. Just because you wear a certain political symbol and they wear a political symbol doesn't mean you're on the same team. You're being bought and sold by them, and you're apologetic towards that cause. So anyway, to tie it all back in, there's a couple comments I wanted to read. I'm a little far behind. The sub is honestly the biggest contradiction on Reddit. Last week, someone posted how she hasn't followed up on this, and every comment was disparaging Michelle. Now this post happens, and every comment is how it's weird to DM her. I think it's weird to call her out, and I think it's weird to DM her. Two sets of people. I clicked on the threads last week because I thought they were harsh on her. I clicked into this one because I thought it was super weird she's addressing this. People just want to see her fall because so many people put her on a pedestal. That exists for anything. Now, no one is where they want to be in life. So if there's someone that's more successful, you just want to knock them down. You want to build up the celebrity and then knock them down. We need to talk about the hypocrisy of many, many people saying not to DM contestants, but then this happens. Absolutely. I'm happy she continues to donate privately, but Michelle is setting herself up for failure if she's going to keep trying to cater to this fan base. I assume if people want to donate to issues they are passionate about, they would do so without having to tell us anyway. So there was no need for her to set this expectation due to public pressure about her quitting her job. She can never win, and it will do her mental health wonders when she learns to accept that. Completely agree. She will never win, and she's only trying to please a fan base that will never be pleased. Stay true to yourself. My hope for Taylor Swift. Why was I thinking of Taylor Swift? My hope for Michelle Young and for Taylor Swift and for anyone else out there with influence is that she starts getting involved in the political game. My hope is that she starts supporting teachers that are possibly running for office or politicians that are running for office that have teachers' needs in their mind, right? In the political world, who donates the most money? The NRA, these private sort of corporations and these dark money groups. We don't even know where the money's coming from. So how do we expect our politicians to have our best interest? We're worried about whether Michelle donated a couple, shekels, and we're not looking at the bigger picture of follow the money. Where does it come from? Start supporting candidates that don't take money from groups you do not trust or believe in, and vote with your dollar. That'll be happening next week. Get out there and vote. Whatever you do, whatever side you're on, get out there and vote. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit. I'll be on Patreon at patreon.com/Dave Neal right after this. Bye, guys.